Are you fighting hard to win? The most popular training course in the market right now are teaching you how to win in the stock market with some good strategies. Another popular course is how to win in all negotiations. There's also this course that teaches you how you can win friends and influence people and lead without leading. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to tell you, you can actually win without fighting. Win without fighting means in the stock market, you do not fight against the market. You actually win, make big money with no fighting at all. And win in negotiations is simply you actually win even before you go for the negotiations. And how to win friends and influence people, I will tell you, you do not need to win friends and influence people. All you need to do is to do certain things and people will come to you naturally. Just like what Liu Bei has done 1,100 years ago. This course called Win Without Fighting will open your mind and let you know that you can actually win today, not tomorrow, without any specific strategies and tactics. In fact, you are winning when you are able to adopt this mindset. What is this mindset? Come for this course called Win Without Fighting with the Art of War. Hello everyone, my name is Andy and today we are talking about Win Without Fighting with the Sun Tzu Art of War. Some people may wonder, how long have you been teaching this Art of War? Not very long, since 2009. I've been teaching Art of War 36 Stratagems, 3 Kingdoms Wisdom, and also I Ching Wisdom, for the last many years. And I do it all in English. I'm also the author of the world's first and only practical book on WeChat marketing called Practical WeChat Marketing 94 Ways. You can get it at Amazon. And the Straits Times have featured my article in the money page last time using this thing called Using War Strategies in the Office. Yes, this is the article. They featured me, they called me and interviewed me as well. And I was also featured in this Chinese bilingual newspaper called 我报商场如战场，掌握孙子兵法的5要素。就是说 they feature here Asia coaching training, and then they say that, well, the business world is like the military world, so if you know how to master the 5 elements of the art of war, you're able to win. But today I can tell you, you can actually win without fighting. Many people, when they talk about win without fighting, they will say, what do you mean? Does it mean that I do nothing? Well, it's important to understand that there are 4 Eastern concepts according to the Chinese. First is this thing called yin-yang balance. In the Western world, there's such a thing called good or bad, but to the Chinese, there's no good or bad, it's just yin-yang. And there's such a thing called yin-yang balance. Understand that yin-yang is not the opposite. There is the yin inside the yang, and there's the yang inside the yin. So if you know how to maneuver, master the yin and yang, you're able to win without fighting. For example, in the stock market right now, you want to buy shares to make money, and you know the yang is basically the rise in interest rates, right? So interest rate rise, what will be the yin, right? Yin will be things that are able to cushion the interest rate rise. So what type of industries can cushion the interest rate rise, right? That likely will be those who sell the necessities. For example, like groceries or like the supermarket, right? So you will realize that shares like Sheng Siong are doing very well in this rising interest rate environment, because when the interest rate rise, actually the yin side is actually them, and they are doing actually just basic necessities. So they're able to balance and they're able to not so badly affected by the interest rate rise. Next thing, the Chinese have this concept called indirect versus direct. Understand that the Chinese don't like to talk in a direct manner. For example, when you meet a friend in the Western world, you say, how are you doing? Then the guy will say, I'm fine. In Chinese, we don't ask how are you doing. We ask, 吃饱了吗? 吃饱未? We ask you, have you eaten? And some people will say, why the Chinese always talk about eaten? Are they so hungry, no food to eat? Actually, have you eaten is like a how are you, but asked in a very indirect way. Why don't I ask you, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? What happened this guy just got scolded by his boss? How are you feeling today? He'll be difficult to answer you, right? And so I asked, have you eaten? So it's actually a neutral topic. The guy said, oh yeah, not yet lah. Oh, I just have a very good rise. So actually, that is actually a way that we can bring two people closer together with this thing called rapport building. So 吃饱未 is actually a very indirect way of asking the other person, how are they doing? Third thing is that the Chinese ones believe this thing called 无常. 无常 means constant change. Life is about constant changes, and there is no one fixed thing. And you can't really say that something has changed A to B, because they are actually changing. There is no A, there's no B. Life is just like a circle, right? So you actually go round and round. And lastly, there's this thing called Wu Wei. Wu Wei simply translates as inaction. And it is not about being active, it's about you have action but at the unseen level. For example, the thinking, the planning, the strategizing, and also action not done by you. For example, if you are a leader, you do not need to do the work, right? You just need to inspire, motivate the staff. You don't even need to tell them to work hard or whatever, right? So these 4 concepts are able to help us to win without fighting. So if you apply them in your life, you're able to master this thing called achieve maximum with minimum effort. We call this effortless. Effortless is not without effort, it's not the same. It means that you are able to go with the natural flow of things with oneness and respect for nature. So with that, you are able to move along with the flow. So this is what Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi taught us, right? Sun Tzu said that people should not be unfamiliar with strategy. Those who understand strategy will survive. Those who do not understand it will perish. Not only they will not survive, they will actually perish. That is the extreme nature of this strategy. So the problem with most people is that they are too focused on tactics and not strategic enough. So they always start with tactic, what to do. But you need to have a grand strategy. You need to know what direction you're going to, right? And many people like to win over all else. Understand that sometimes winning is losing. And people like to see the destination as more important than the journey. So we know that how long you live in this world is limited. Maybe 60, 80, maybe 90, maybe 100 years. But what you leave behind is much, much longer. So example, people like that we know very long ago, for example, like Jesus Christ, right? He lived how long? Maybe 70 years old. But until today, more than 2,000 years later, we are still talking about him, right? So the journey is actually what they actually do is actually more important than the destination. Destination is to die 70 years, right? Actually, the journey, in fact, until today, we are still talking about what the teachings of Jesus Christ and other famous people, right? So fighting too much is also the issue. If you're fighting too much, then likely you are having the wrong things. And didn't realize that winning is internal. You need to win inside before you can win outside. If you keep on winning the outside but without winning the internal, at the end of the day, your winning will not be fruitful. So at the end of the day, work too hard, fight too much is actually the trouble. So we are going to share with you how you can actually win without fighting. Understand that we are all warriors. We are all fighting on the inside. We need to be a peaceful warrior. That means we win in a peaceful manner. As what in this movie, A Boys to Men said, right? Ken said, if you cannot win the war inside, how can we win the real war outside? So to win the war inside, you need to win without fighting. So I welcome you to this course that we are conducting very soon, Win Without Fighting.